What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about capture cards. Late last year, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 both came out allowing people to play at 4K 60 frames per second, and the Xbox Series X allowing people to play at 1440p 120 frames per second. I don't think the PlayStation 5 allows you to play at 1440p, which is a little weird, but hey, what are you going to do? So because these two consoles allow people to play at such a high resolution, the ones who want to record or stream at 1080p or 720p are forced to get capture cards. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Two particular capture cards. The first being the Elgato 4K 60 Pro Mark II, and the second being the Elgato HD 60S Plus. They both have pros and cons, so let's get into it. So the first one is the one that I'm currently using, the Elgato 4K 60 Pro Mark II, which I believe price range wise starts around $249, and that's an internal capture card. So what that means is you actually have to install it into your PC. If you don't have a PC, you can't use this capture card, so keep that in mind. But the benefits is that especially for the Xbox Series X guys, it allows you to play at that 1440p and pass through that 1080p or 720p depending on what you want to stream or record at. So when I first started using it, I couldn't hear both the Xbox and the PC. So what I ended up having to do is this silly number here, having an aux cable plugged in from my Xbox controller into my PC. Now that allows me to hear both, but it doesn't let the capture card capture like game chat, which is unfortunate, especially if you're playing something like Warzone where you have death comms or the hot mics, and everybody knows when you kill somebody and somebody starts spazzing out on the mic, it makes for good content. So it's kind of unfortunate that this $250 capture card doesn't capture that audio. So I emailed Elgato themselves to see if they had a workaround, because obviously you want to be able to capture all of the content, including game chat. They told me to try the Elgato chat link, which I think still requires me to have wires coming out of my controller at all times. But if it at least lets me capture the game chat audio, I'm down for it. This got here a little before I started recording, so I didn't have a chance to try it. So make sure you stop by my stream to see if it's working out or not. Another workaround that I did try that I wasn't a fan of is using audio extractors. Neither the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5 have audio out ports, which means that you can't plug in an aux cable from the console directly into your PC, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that's why I tried audio extractors. So the first one that I tried, I got from Best Buy. It was around $50, but it didn't allow me to pass through the high resolution that I'm looking for. I was stuck at playing and streaming at 1080p 60 frames per second, which kind of defeats the purpose considering I have an Xbox Series X and a gaming monitor that allows up to 165 hertz. So got rid of it. I sent it back. I don't want it. And then the second HDMI audio extractor I got from Amazon, which did allow me to play at the high resolution at 1440p 120 hertz and stream at 1080p 60 hertz. But the issue was that particular audio extractor was giving me a buzzing in my headphones that I didn't understand where it's coming from. I tried different aux cables. I tried plugging it into different ports on the PC, and the buzzing never went away. So I had to return that one to Amazon. So let's jump into the second capture card, the Elgato HD 60S Plus, which I believe is going to start off around $50 cheaper than the Elgato 4K 60. And it is an external capture card with that. So it's a lot like this one where you don't have to plug it into a PC. So if you don't have a PC, this is what you want. But for the Xbox Series X guys who are playing at 1440p, you're going to want to get the 4K 60 Pro, because the HD 60 Plus does not allow you to play at 1440p. You can still play at 4K 60 frames per second and record at 1080p, but it's not going to let you hit that 1440p, so keep that in mind. But one of the benefits for the Elgato HD 60S Plus is that it has an audio in port, so that if you have that audio extractor, you can just get an aux cable and plug it in from that into the HD 60S Plus, and you're going to be able to capture that game chat or that party chat without any headache or any workaround like that I have to try to figure out. So just to recap, anybody using the Xbox Series X who's playing at 1440p, you can use the Elgato 4K 60 Pro. If you don't have a PC, then you are going to want to use an external one, just like this one. But the HD 60 Plus does not let you play that 1440p. I hope this video did help somebody out who just got the new console, who wants to start recording or streaming, and wasn't sure how to keep that high resolution gameplay but stream at a lower gameplay, or was looking at around at different capture cards and didn't know which one. I know there are other ones out there like the AverMedia 4K 60, which is very comparable to the Elgato 4K 60, but that one also does not have an audio import. So the same issue that I ran into with the Elgato, I'm pretty sure I was going to run into the same issue with the AverMedia. But I can't really talk about AverMedia stuff. I've only ever used Elgato products like this one, like the 4K 60 that I'm using, or even the USB mic that I have on right now with the Wave 3. So for anybody who liked this video, please make sure you hit like, subscribe, and you hit the little bell, and comment down below if you have any questions about anything. I have a pretty decent setup going on here. If you want to start your own stuff, just ask me anything or stop by in the stream, and feel free to ask me any questions. Thanks guys, catch you in the next one.